All right, we're going to first start by drilling a hole that'll fit this rod into the base. I've got a 5/8 inch base here. Hopefully that'll work. Put it in. I think that should work. Um, May have to widen the hole a little bit. You can trade the bits, maybe get a little bit wider. But I think that could work. Well, actually, let's see if I can push this all the way through. I don't know, this thing. Yeah, I think that'll actually work. So, all right, we'll move on to the next step. All right, the next step on here is to cut this, like I said, into like a box thing to where it has a lid. And I'm figuring, let me see how to, all right, give me a straight edge here. Might have to edit this part out, but I won't. All right, I put a straight edge on here to hopefully keep my saw straight when I go through. And as I cut one side, I'll take this off, flip it over, and do the other side. And we'll take this off. Leave that on there. And then we'll flip this over. Put this back on. So now hopefully when I cut it now, it'll even up with that first cut that I did. Flip it over. That's how you do that. All right, last cut. And hopefully we'll be able to separate this top part. Now, unfortunately, there was some additional cutting I had to do, and but overall, as you can see, the lid comes off. This will make things a lot easier to work with. As I said earlier, I hope to put a fog machine down in here, cut some holes in the side for the fog to escape to get out into the yard. In the meantime, we're going to work on the statue. Okay, as I said earlier, I originally had a wooden dowel going up through here which broke. I now got this aluminum rod. They're going to try to insert up through here. Got a couple of zip ties to secure the foil, the rod. And let's see if we can slide this up in here. How far? There we go. All right, now let's see if we can thread this through both the skeleton's rib cage and the aluminum rod. Actually, I want to see if I can get that aluminum rod a little higher. Actually, I got to take care of a couple things in there. All right, I got the rod in there. I got my zip tie. Now, what I had to do was, my old zip ties that were in there holding that wooden dowel, I had to take those off in order to get this thing to go smoothly in here. This would be a lot easier if it didn't have the cloak, but you know, I did that a while back. So the cloak is kind of like a permanent fixture to it. Now I got to figure out how to get this thing around the rod, you know, between the rod and the cloak. Try this. And also get it through the rib cage. Sorry you can't see this, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if I want you to see it. All right, got that through. I got the rod through. And now I just gotta zip it in. The two shall meet. Ready? Of course, I put it in twisted. Oh, there we go. I think. That's not gonna work. Yeah, you get to see everything. All the screw ups. And there we go. All right, got that rod in there. Get it tight. Cut off the excess. And there we go. Okay, now that we got our rod through our statue, we now, the whole hole I made in the top earlier, we're going to get this down in there. And there we go. He should not go anywhere. And to secure him really into here, now from the back side, on the heels, I will insert a couple of screws that go in through the top. I don't know how well you can see that or if you can see it at all. Putting him. All right, he should be nice and snug on there. All right, here's the cemetery statue, nice and snug on his top. And this right here is the sword I made for him. This came off, but overall he'll kind of look like that. And then all you have to do is just place the lid. Well, I can probably do it on camera. This should be off centered, but we'll just move this aside. And this is my cemetery statue. Hopefully repaired well enough to where I can put it out this year. Like I said, I'm going to maybe put a platform down in here so I can put a fog machine in there, maybe with some ice, drill some holes to the bottom for the fog to escape out. And yeah, that's it. Keep Halloween alive.